What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast on Main Event Network. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson. As always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Hoops, how we doing, brother?
We're almost there. WrestleMania week is getting close.
2 sleeps away.
The entire screen, but we are getting there. I am so excited. Fix this now.
We are obviously not alone. The King has returned to reclaim his throne. King Chris, how are you? It's been a long 48 hours since we've seen you.
I have hot takes. The King has been sitting and stewing on these takes. And from one to others, how are my fellow Kings doing today?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Eric?
thoughtful.
No, Eric.
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
The dude's always the jester.
Damn.
I mean, you just proved my point. Thank you. Thank you.
Damn, that kind of hurt a little bit. But yeah, that's fair. Receipt. Anyway, guys, welcome to Wrestling Junkies podcast. As always, hit that QR code in the top left corner. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you know one person that would enjoy this show, share it with them, let them see for themselves. It's WrestleMania week, we here at the Main Event Network have had a hell of a time. We've had some great prediction videos. We've done some crossover shows. Shout out to Mr. OTM and the podcast son from On the Mark. They will be going live tonight at 8:30, 7:30 Central, if I'm not mistaken. So see their official.
He will correct us if you're not right. Trust me.
I swear there will be at least one episode where I get through all of the announcements without you doing that. I swear
the gimmick now, pal. It's the gimmick.
God. All right. Anyway, check them out. We will also be on Wrestling Spotlight on Local Now. Recording that tonight, should be airing tomorrow. Always get to catch up with Gerald Bentley. If you're in Philadelphia this weekend, ETU, Unlock the Unexpected. Ultimo Dragon is on this card. Wrestling Junkies podcast are a proud sponsor of this show, so go check it out if you've got some time before all of the festivities kick off. Make sure to use the promo code MANIA at our merch store for $10 off your order. MANIA at the main event merch store as well for discounted merch there. I think I've gotten through. All right, so, and he did correct me. 7 Central, not 8. Damn it.
Told you.
Okay. Well, the intention was there, so I'm just kind of running with it. But anyway, boys, we have covered night 1 of WrestleMania. We've covered Stand and Deliver. Now it is time for night 2. Is it fair to say that this is probably going to be the most consequential night of this new?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I would like to talk to King Chris about the Philadelphia Eagles re-signing and signings today, if you don't mind. Re-signing Avante Maddox that's a big deal. Getting a nice slot cornerback and then re-signing one of the best right tackles in the game, and Jordan Mailata. You wouldn't know anything about an offensive line, Eric. So let the big boys talk. But that's a big deal. That's
a very big deal on the line, especially with the key losses that we had and moving Jurgens into that main role and having Dickerson signed long term. I think we still have the best line in football, bias aside. Maddox, I'm worried about his injury history, and he can get cooked on the outside and within the slot. So we'll see how he comes back from his injury and see if he steps up, because in the 2022 year, he was legit, and he served as a great backup. So I'm excited to see it.
Depth. Again, Eric, nothing you know about depth within that team.
Anyway, Chris, starting to think that night 2 of WrestleMania is going to be the most consequential night in this new era of WWE. Is that fair to say?
You got rid of both. You see what you did.
I didn't get rid of him. He protested. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
And something really cool about this year, and a little tease for a little bit down the road. The Eagles come to Cincinnati this year.
I believe that I did hear that. Yes. I know what you're thinking, and I'm 100% in.
We'll be there.
You already knew that. I'm in. I am in. As we give the King a couple of minutes to get back on here, can I finally finish my question?
I'm telling you, we should have got rid of Bill when we had the chance. Johnny told us to get rid of Bill, and you just didn't do it, and you didn't want to.
I swear to God, I'm just trying to do my job today and talk wrestling, and you, sir, are making my job very difficult. Not you, King. Podcast dad.
I figured. I rule with an iron fist, but I'm a ruly king. I can get along.
You're a benevolent king.
I really am. I see
Oh.
both sides.
I was telling the podcast, Dad, that you gave me a recipe for some Western Carolina barbecue sauce we're going to be using this weekend for the pulled pork going in the master build. Cannot wait to break that out. I'm hoping the weather cooperates because, I worked really hard to get this ready. Yeah,
you're taking it outside, correct?
Yes, I'm taking it outside.
Okay. I wanted to check. The king worries.
King worries.
I didn't fall off a turnip truck. Okay.
Well, debatable.
All right. Now can we talk some wrestling?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's do it.
What's happening this weekend?
Yeah, so night 2, WrestleMania. We expect this to be the biggest show of all time. Is it fair to say night 2 is significantly more important than night 1 at this point? And for the not just for what we're seeing in this event, but the future of WWE going into the next 3, 4, 5 years?
It's a loaded question.
It really is.
That's a very loaded question. Part of me says no. I think night 1 is.
Okay.
Because I want to see what happens in that tag. I think that tag match is the biggest match of the weekend. Like, I think, and I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I think we all think Cody might finish the story. But that tag match, we're going to see 4 different stories kind of be told and like you said, kind of shape the WWE over the next couple of years. And I think that tag match is out of all the matches on this WrestleMania card, night 1 or 2 is the most important, most consequential, as you said. And just, I think night 2 is big. Don't get me wrong. Sure. But that tag match just feels like it's going to set up everything for the next year and a half.
Okay.
I agree. The tag match is the biggest domino. And I would say once that falls, it sets up for night 2. And I would say night 2 is the most dudless match card in a very long time. And I can't even remember the last time a WrestleMania night didn't have one match I wasn't excited for. Every single one hits. And I think, and I agree with the podcast, Dad. The tag match will set up storylines and set up everything. We talked on the night 1 thing about the potential of the wanting of a Survivor Series, War Games, Bloodline feud. How does the Bloodline move forward from this? How does Cody? Does he have the opportunity to finish the story? By God, I hope he does. But I'm sick of that term. But so many things can happen, and that pinpoint, that ground zero of it is that tag match on night 1.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and if we're just going to get right on into night 2 here, we're going to start with this match just because I know that it took a while for the podcast Dad to get on board with it. I want to see kind of if his thought has changed. We've got the Philadelphia Street Fight, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits taking on the Final Testament. It's good to see everybody that's in this match get a place on the card. Bobby got shafted last year, unfortunately, due to the Bray Wyatt being unavailable and having that injury. Wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but that's, consolation prize if I've ever heard one. Yes, he did.
I do not remember that at all.
Of course you don't.
Crap.
He came out on the ramp and waved at everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how WrestleMania went last year for Bobby. So
there's only enough space in this brain. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Holy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the King. What about this match excites you? And who's your prediction?
What excites me, I just said this is a dudless night. If I had to choose a dud, this would be the one that I'm least excited about, but I'm still excited to see it. I love the Street Profits. I think they're great performers. They play off well of each other, and they're kind of making that face turn a little bit. And they're trying to turn back to what they were before they teamed up with Bobby Lashley, and I like to see that. I love the Authors of Pain, though, and I think they're brooding. I love their double power slams, and I think it's going to be a masterclass of tag team wrestling to start. This, to me, is going to start the show, and this may be the pre. There's always that match within the pre-show. This may be that, just to give us the taste of what the night can be. I think you have to put over Final Testament. The story, they don't see they haven't had that one moment, and that's what I predict. Final Testament getting the pin over, because the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley can recover from a loss. So you need the legitimacy of the Final Testament.
Podcast that.
Yeah, I like the Pride. I think is their Wikipedia says they're called, which I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no one else does. I mean,
yeah.
Didn't know that. I liked the initial idea of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford with Bobby Lashley as like kind of a new Hurt Business. I think it's safe to say it didn't work as well as we wanted it to. I want the Street Profits back, especially if they're splitting the tag titles again. Like, I want the Street Profits back. I want Face having a great time. Street Profits, they were fun. They're exciting. I want Montez Ford to have his singles push. That's just me. I know a lot of other people want that, and I think they have something there that they can capitalize on. I think this is going to be a crazy match. It's the street fight. I agree that it should probably open night 2 just to get the crowd up. We've seen that done before where kind of the street fights open or the ladder matches open or something like that, just to get the crowd pumped up, and could be a fun match. I would agree that the Final Testament should win because Karrion Kross needs a win so badly. Do you remember when he beat Drew McIntyre?
No. Oh,
No.
That's right. Yeah.
He has a pay-per-view win
okay.
over Drew McIntyre.
Wow.
Yeah.
That happened.
Tale of two careers. Yeah.
So I think getting him back on, and what kind of could be his last chance of being relevant in this company is this faction. Like, get him the win here. Let's get this push going. I agree. The Authors of Pain are a lot of fun, and they were really, really good in NXT. They were good as like Seth Rollins is heavy as well during that time. I like the group, so I'm gonna go Final Testament.
Yeah. It's no World Entertainment Series like they tried to pull off on the Indies, but I am excited. I actually am excited for this match, just because this was something. I mean, Cross needed something to do. I mean, he's been back on the roster. That was 2022 that he came back.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So, this is kind of the first time that he, Scarlett, and the rest of this crew have felt relevant. I mean, I think building a stable around him was a great idea. I can see, why a lot of people, may think that the presentation is a little bit dry. But I think that you give them this stipulation where everybody can kind of let their hair down a little bit and get a little chaotic with weapon spots. I mean, I think this is the perfect exhibition for it, and I think this is the start of something hopefully decent for them. So I'm also going to go Final Testament.
Yeah, and I think maybe with the Judgment Day looking like they're starting to disband, it may be like they could take that spot, not as like big as the Judgment Day is, but like kind of that gothy group of WWE. Sure. I think that's maybe why the comparisons right now you say are like dry. That's probably why, is because they're getting compared to the Judgment Day. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when that group kind of breaks up and what they have in store for Final Testament.
Yeah, agreed. Next match we have, and this has upset the internet in some ways, and I don't understand why, but LA Knight taking on AJ Styles. Yeah. This is, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm excited for this match presented by Slim Jim. So keeping with the continuity of SummerSlam last year, of winning that Battle Royal and continuing to remain involved in all things LA Knight. Off to a good start here. Your Highness, so what do you think of this program for LA Knight going into WrestleMania as opposed to what a lot of us thought would be a potential U.S. title clash with Logan Paul?
Well, leading into it, it really brought back the realism, and really brought back that when it shifted from the Federation to the Attitude Era with the Pillman and Austin side of things, and it blurred the lines between a work and a shoot. And I love that. I love the real world side of things, going to AJ's house and doing that. Obviously, that's a crime, but I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy seeing the drama behind it. I think it could have been built a little bit more. There's just so much time on a SmackDown that you can't really carve out some time, especially with the Bloodline and The Rock and the Cody story. That's why a majority of people are tuning in. Having said that, they're great performers. And ever since I've known you, Mr. Cincinnati, you know how much I love AJ Styles. And And as much as everybody likes to think he's Mr. WrestleMania, he always puts on a good show. He always puts on a good match, and LA Knight is that guy to put on a good match with him. And his star has been rising. His profile has been rising. Give me LA Knight over AJ Styles to continue the trajectory up.
Yeah, this would have been a hell of a fact pattern for a criminal law exam, dude. I'm telling you,
It truly would have.
all kinds of fun we definitely could have had with that. Yeah, I mean, I think that when we're looking at this program, we're looking at AJ Styles, who we've said on the show, I don't know how many times, he's not been booked well for the better part of the last 6 to 8 months. It's just kind of felt like he's spinning his wheels, but this heel turn has seemed to reinvigorate him. We're starting to get some of those early TNA heel run antics, the change in the gear, the demeanor, and rumor has it we might get a new theme song that debuts to kind of top all of this up. So we'll see. I'm concerned because there aren't necessarily too many bangers, because there's certainly not a whole lot of Def Rebel on our shared wrestling theme mix. But Podcast Dad, I'm going to kick it over to you. Who wins here?
I've gone back and forth because LA Knight certainly would benefit from getting this big win. But like you said, AJ Styles has not been booked well in the last, you say 6 to 8 months. I'd probably say 2 years.
Okay.
To be honest, like ever since his match with Taker, like he hasn't really done much of anything, right?
Had the tag team title title run there, yeah,
with Omos, and that was something.
He can't even win a pizza. He can't even win a pizza eating contest.
Yeah, that was something, right? I guess, but like that's not AJ Styles. I don't want to see AJ Styles in a tag team with Omos. Like that's not what I want. So part of me goes, man, AJ Styles should probably be winning this match, right?
Well, this is from Too Sweet Kyle, Mr. OTM, saying he heard a little birdie saying AJ's retiring soon, might put overnight. So
interesting.
We'll see.
He's retiring soon. He's jacked if he's retiring soon.
I know.
That dude
right?
is yoked.
He is what, 47?
No, like 42, 43. Still early 40s, I think. But
he's 46.
Oh, okay. I stand way corrected.
Well, I mean that might be, yeah. I mean there might be some legitimacy. That's a hard word.
Legitimacy.
Shut up. Man, I go back and forth. Like, and the people that are pissed off can go kick rocks. Like LA Knight's getting a major one-on-one match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go AJ Styles just because I think we're going to end the night on a happy note, and give me AJ Styles because I could also see him being one of the first challengers for a Cody Rhodes, and why not? They would have a hell of a match. So give me AJ Styles.
Okay. I think I'm going to say LA Knight just because this is also when he desperately needs. I mean, great showing in the Royal Rumble, great showing at Crown Jewel. I think this is a way to kind of rebound from all of that. There's obviously a whole lot of faith in him and what he can do as a performer. So let's get him a win against AJ Styles, who is guaranteed to make anybody look good at WrestleMania, including Shane McMahon.
I know.
Snoop even made Shane McMahon look good.
Shane McMahon is the greatest wrestler of all time. I saw him win the cup.
Oh, right. Okay. You done? You done?
Saw it. He has the cup in his house.
That trophy was recycled, right?
I don't care.
Okay.
And Braun Strowman's still the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time.
No, the greatest Royal Rumble winner is Titus O'Neil.
Well, you got to get into
You
got to get into the match first.
Yeah, well, you know what? He sure made an entrance. So that's all that matters.
He's found his way to the ring.
Yeah, and he's a Hall of Famer, so
Yeah. Okay.
No one can take that away from him.
Yeah. Well, depends.
Going back to the podcast dads, I know there's a moment here, but I'm bringing it back around. This is what a king does. He senses when something's going left, and he turns it back right. So let's, with the LA Knight side of things.
Okay.
Podcast Dad, you mentioned that the booking of AJ Styles over the past couple years hasn't been great, but he has that star. Like, he has that profile. LA Knight, he shot to the moon this past year. And where's he been? Like, it's been cooled off. I feel like he's been.
I think he's still there.
I don't know. I sense some sizzle. Like, there isn't. He's not.
I mean, The Rock came back.
Well,
the props aren't as loud as they once were.
Exactly.
The Rock came back.
Well, The Rock. How is this not a point where LA Knight on the mic can go against The Rock on the mic and just go one-on-one? The Rock would kill him, but they have been compared to each other. Let's put it.
Would The Rock kill him though?
Yes.
Would he?
Nah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think The Rock would kill him.
Who would win in a promo battle? Let us know in the comments.
Exactly. I just don't want LA Knight to fizzle out. I've enjoyed his run, but thank you. At least someone is on the side of royalty, and I just want him to be there. Like, he has such a great gimmick. He has such a great crowd interaction theme. He has the chants. He has the mic skills. I don't want to lose that in today's WWE. So I want him to be propped up as much as he can. So that's why I thought. That's all.
And that's a fair point. And I think that is fair to say that he has cooled off. Losing to Roman was tough. I think we all really wanted him to beat Roman, and we all knew it wasn't going to happen. But part of us was like, they might do it, right? They might do it. No, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
The Fatal 4-Way at Rumble was good. I thought he had a good showing, but like the story with AJ has been pretty good. I mean, AJ got hurt. LA Knight took his spot. And that this has been a story for a couple months now. And LA Knight's been in the main event scene the entire time.
Yeah.
Match against Roman, the Fatal 4-Way, the Chamber. Like, he's been in.
Teamed with Cena.
Like, he's had the booking. It's been there. It's just, what do we ultimately want LA Knight to be? Like, do we want him to be world champion? Because if that's the case, then we're not going to get that. I don't think.
I disagree there. I
don't know, man.
Maybe not Universal, and we'll come to that match later. But I do think Big Gold. Yeah, I don't see why not.
When did they reinstate Big Gold?
You know what I mean. What I mean.
You're talking about the belt you have back there.
Just let it go.
Medium gold.
You talking about my belt hoops?
So with that, like, do you think he's on a level of Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre?
I think that they can make him that. Yes,
I think they can.
Like, I think he reminds me a lot of like a Rob Van Dam. Like, maybe
who's a former WWE champion, if I recall correctly, who would have been a lot longer if he.
Why don't you let me finish my sentence and then we can talk about it?
Well, maybe if you let me finish the intro every once in a while, this wouldn't happen later in the show. Now would it?
Who? LA Knight, very popular with the crowd. RVD, very popular with the crowd. Would be great as a mid-card champion. RVD had that one breakthrough world title run. He did. And it was awesome. And it was after years and years and years, though. I don't like LA Knight has been popular for a year. Like, let's let that keep going before we go, okay, he needs to be world champion. So I think the next step needs to be a mid-card champion to see if he can carry a mid-card title program.
And I think that we both know the answer to that is yes.
Is it? I don't know.
I originally thought the LA Knight match would have been LA Knight Logan Paul for the U.S. Championship.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought he was right there.
Yeah, I mean that is a very natural, organic, over babyface we've got. You know, we can't fault him for what is being written for him. But yeah, no, I don't see why we should stunt his WWE potential at high mid card.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying I like that the main event scene is crowded as hell, and as of right now, he's not on a Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk level. He's just not.
But I mean, at the same time, he's already been in the ring with Roman. He's already been, he's already had these moments here. So he's gotten a taste of that spotlight. So, now we look at, okay, how do we fix what we've already, he's already had these opportunities. What can be done to present him in a way that he is seen as a contender that wins? Because he's already getting the exposure to the rest of this crowd. He's already, think about that, that SmackDown, I think it was a week or two before Crown Jewel. Roman's coming out in the middle of his entrance, and then right as he's holding up the belt, cuts off. That was.
We were in the building for SummerSlam.
The apex of it. Yes, yeah.
He got a huge pop, and I'm not saying I don't want him to be world champion. I think we're getting our words twisted a little bit. I would love if he became a world champion. I just don't know if he's quite there yet. So let's wait see what happens. If he wins against AJ Styles, I think we're in for a big time push where you have Roman going away, you have Rock going away, you have
Rollins is probably going away.
Rollins is probably going away. So the window might be there, but I don't know what it looks like. He needs a big win. This could be a huge win, but I need to see. I think I need to see something more. I would love for LA Knight to be world champion. I just don't know if the main event level talent that we're getting right now, I don't know if he's in that same category quite yet.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, we've got triple threat match for the United States Championship. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. It was clear that these guys weren't done with each other after what we saw in Perth. Logan I think it's probably the toughest test that he's had to date for this championship. He's kind of played the weaselly route. We've seen him try to pawn it. We've seen him do the belt swap with Patrick Mahomes for a Super Bowl ring to wear for a couple of minutes. This is kind of the mainstream championship, I guess, so to speak. Podcast Dad, we're going to start with you. What are you wanting to see out of this match?
I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. Part of me goes, it's a triple threat match for a reason, right? So they can pin not Logan Paul.
Yep.
Part of me goes, does Randy Orton or Kevin Owens really need the United States Championship? Not really.
No.
So does Logan Paul win? I'm not totally sure what to expect in this match, and I kind of love it, right? Because I'm like, anything could happen, and it's nice to go into a match where you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to predict that Logan Paul retains by hook or crook, and Randy and Kevin are going to branch off into some kind of feud. I think one of those two probably needs to turn heel in the next couple months. And I wouldn't hate if it was Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is just a fantastic heel.
Yes.
I'm going to go Logan Paul, and I don't know why, but I'm going Logan Paul.
Okay. Your Highness?
I don't know what to expect from this either. And I know one thing I know I'm going to see is high flying spots from Logan Paul, and that's going to happen. I'm just worried that they're going to have too many cheesy spots in there where a friend comes out again dressed as the Prime bottle, or I did last year, or somebody's hiding under their ring again. Or I just don't want that. I think this needs to be its own match and on its own merit, because as much as we don't like to admit it, Logan Paul's a great wrestler. He's very good. Yeah. And I want to see this showcase his skills, leading into my prediction of him retaining with the announcement of SummerSlam in Cleveland, that let's keep him the champion. Let's keep this run going, especially with the Prime. I hate this, but the Prime sponsorship in the middle of the ring, you have to milk it, and you have to make sure that everything is on its P's and Q's going into SummerSlam in Cleveland. So give me the Maverick.
God, is Logan Paul going to get a world title shot at SummerSlam?
The answer is not no, I don't think.
I will be quite disappointed if that happens, but Mr. Cincinnati, go ahead.
It depends. I think that it's safe to say, I won't say it's safe to say, but I like Logan's chances of retaining here. Chris, you've pointed out on our show as well the fact that he has signed a new deal and has alluded to being around more often. This is the way to keep that happening. He is an insufferable United States champion, but it works for him. and we've also said that he should align himself with Grayson Waller, Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well have some gold around that group, because they're definitely not winning any tag team titles anytime soon. Not as long as DIY and New Catch Republic are on this. I mean, as long as they're on the roster, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
So, a quick question for you both:
Mm-hmm.
Does he still feel like a celebrity, or does he feel like a legit part of the roster now?
It's a great question.
I mean, because he's been at damn near every show since he signed that new contract.
Yeah. It definitely lies somewhere in the middle. I think that there is still that star appeal, just because, again, the presence that he brings and the following he has, that they've trying to get that mainstream audience. So I think that there is still that celebrity rub. I think it'll wear off quickly. I think if we're having the same conversation again by the time SummerSlam rolls around, then it's safe to kind of just look at him as a wrestler, that guy that happened to have other businesses before he got into wrestling. But if he continues at the pace he's at, then I don't see why not. King?
I'm leaning towards more of the roster now. When I think celebrity wrestler, I think Bad Bunny. And where's he been? Where's he been since Backlash? And I wouldn't put him in that category. And Bad Bunny, again, good wrestler. Like, he showed that he could do something. Is he of the level of a Logan Paul? No, but I think he's transitioning a little bit into part of the roster with that rock celebrity status for the youths out there, if you will.
All right. Before we move on, again, one more question. And Eric, you made the point where you think some of that celebrity might wear off. So would it benefit them to have him drop the title before SummerSlam? So maybe he does go away and comes back and regains that celebrity status?
No, I mean, I don't think that you need to do that either, because it kind of flies in the face of what he said when he resigned is, if I'm going to be around, then I got to, dedicate a little bit more time to this. And it's, I think that if I have to pontificate on it, I think that he's probably thinking there are a lot of people out there that don't think that I can do this, or that I don't want to do this on a regular basis. I mean, think about everybody that's in Philly right now, working in an indie show during the biggest week of the year, just hoping to get noticed. That can't be lost on him. I don't think that his head is that far in the sand, that, there are people that work their asses off to get to where Logan's going to be this weekend that may never get there. But they are at least going to show up and hope that they might find an opportunity. I mean, hell, Bobby Flacco's up there, doesn't necessarily have anything booked, but he's probably going to find his way onto a fucking show this weekend. I mean, that's just what you have to do. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I got on it. It's a tough question.
His third Mania card.
That is impressive. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah. And he got turned on by The Miz in one of them. How often does that happen?
And they cheered The Miz.
Yeah.
Another Cleveland guy.
It's been a whole lot of talk about Cleveland on this podcast.
Is this setting up Miz versus Logan Paul for the U.S. Championship?
Oh, God. All right.
Diabolical King.
Yeah.
No.
Give me all of the chaos.
No, I do think that one of the greatest centers in Eagles history will show up at SummerSlam, and we'll probably have more than just a one-off appearance. I think that I'm just going to throw that out there.
I think he's going to show up this weekend too.
Well, I know that, but I think that he might have some interest in wanting to try this out for a while, or do something McAfee-esque. You know that he does. Yeah.
Please, that would be amazing.
Not just the center, but the tight end of a former Cincinnati Bearcat for that one too.
Right. Yeah.
Tag team match.
Eric hates him, so
yeah, I'm not a fan. It's okay. We're gonna spoil that 3-peat for him this year, though. That's all right.
Who?
Bengals are. Yeah, we are.
You know, you got to get to the playoffs to do that, right?
I know.
Is it can you quarterback throw?
Yeah.
You sure?
Positive.
He's going to make it all 17 games.
Damn right. I'm saying it now.
Well, you do have a good running back in Mixon. Oh, wait.
That's
fine.
It's
You got some great receiver. Oh wait, you got one.
I am happy with what we have done in the offseason here. I'm going to leave it at that.
You have
It's
a great
like the last
tight end.
20
Oh,
years.
wait.
Oh wait. Defense looks good. Oh wait, you lost some people there too.
Oh yeah.
There's such a thing as too much shit talk about the Bengals, and a couple of fellas ought to be fucking aware of it. Okay.
And you got a great head coach. Oh, wait, hold on.
You know
Not
what?
really.
You know what? All right. No, it's enough of you guys.
Yikes.
And that's your 2024 preview of the Cincinnati Bengals.
I also love how and shout out to Justin Baird, follow his channel at Juggernaut. I love that he popped in just to leave this comment.
Just in time.
I'm gonna let him. That's fine. That's fine. I just really hate that
his receiver room too, but I digress.
I really hate that I introduced the two of you to each other. Anyway. So moving left and right along, gentlemen, we have got the WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky against Royal Rumble winner Bayley. This is 2 years in the making here. Damage control has been very up, been very down, very all around. Your Highness, I'm going to start with you. Know how much you love Io Sky here. Let's just kind of get your thoughts on overall what they did with this unit, Bayley, Io, Dakota, and kind of where we see this transitioning with Bayley here going into the rest of 2024.
I loved this story, and I use that term loved. I loved it, and I loved the build up to it. Where has it been? And it has let me down throughout, from the Royal Rumble till now. The build has let me down. And now I'm not excited about it. I want to see the match. It's going to be a great match. But this going into it after the Royal Rumble, it's like, wow, this is going to be one of my top matches for the entire weekend. And I can't wait to see it because Bayley deserves a moment. Io Sky is a great talent. Cincinnati knows my infatuation with Io Sky. But
yes,
I just don't. This is going to be my hot take. Bayley, yes, she's improved on the mic. She could have done a lot better from the Royal Rumble to here. She could have had a better showing. Yes, it's a little cringe when I see Io Sky on the side, like laughing diabolically with her title. It just doesn't really settle well with me. Having said that, my hot take and my swerve here, I'm taking Io Sky. Like she needs it more than Bayley. Bayley has the accolades. She won the Royal Rumble. That's something that she didn't have at the time. Exactly. Why aren't they showing them on TV? They show the Rock promos every other minute throughout. I think she needs that shine. And it also makes me mad that she won the Royal Rumble and for the women's side, and she's not headlining one of the nights. I think this story deserved that, and she deserved that spot. So I think they kind of fumbled the bag here. And going back to Io Sky, like she needs this more. We haven't seen her fully as the heel champion. We haven't seen her fully. I feel like she's just scratching the surface of what she can do. I know I just rambled right there, but I'm very passionate about this, and I want this. This deserves way more than it's got.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's the follow up I want to ask you here is, you said at the time of the Rumble this should have been one of the main events here. Given what we've seen so far, obviously that's changed. Your stance has changed on that because I mean the build since the Royal Rumble has fallen somewhat flat. Would you say that would still have been the case as we say here right now? This should still be one of those main events.
If the build was the way it should have been,
yeah.
Okay. I think it should have been. Personally, just the story behind it. I mean, the story behind the tag match last year with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, that was very heartfelt and you saw the progression. You saw the emotion behind it. I feel like this should have had that same emotion behind it. And that headline that won. And
yeah. And I think that what we would also have to think about is, let's just look at this in a vacuum here. Let's say that we did get the perfect build between Io and Bayley. But we also have this tag team match that's setting up a lot of stakes for night 2. Mm-hmm. Let's say that this goes on, let's say that tag match went on, second to last or third to last. You really want something like that that's going to gas that entire crowd before, we get to a Bayley, hopefully with a Paramore entrance if we're lucky, kind of moment.
Well, I get the reason why they're not doing it now, but before, when she won the Royal Rumble, we didn't know The Rock was going to insert himself.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
obviously that changes when he's added to a tag team match, or originally Roman versus Rock, and building that storyline. And you have to put him in there. He's not going to start a show. He's not going to be second to last. He's going to be the final match. He is the final boss for all intents and purposes. So the final is there for a reason. So obviously that he's here, it wouldn't be there. But at the time, I thought this would have been headliner for number one, just for the story.
Yeah. Podcast day, again, turn it over to you. Your thoughts.
Yeah, don't tell Tony Khan that The Rock's the final boss, because he's got a Samoan that he is the final boss. Apparently. Yeah. I agree. And when Bayley won the Rumble, I was pumped. We were finally getting Bayley's moment. All the other horsewomen, and it's tough not to compare it. Like, Charlotte's had her Mania moment. Sasha had her Mania moment with Bianca. Becky had her Mania moment, main eventing. Like,
kick the door open for everybody else. Yeah,
everybody's had that moment, and Bayley never did. And you know, it is what it is. Like, but we're here. Bayley got her moment. She just won the Rumble. We saw this story happening. She's going to challenge Io. It's going to be awesome. It hasn't been. Like, it just hasn't been. And it's kind of a problem, because out of the 3 women's matches on the card, I'm more excited for the 6-woman tag match than either of the 2 title matches. Like, the builds for both of the champions have been bad. The title runs for both of the champions have been bad. Don't act like they've been any good. Like, what's Io's biggest win as champion? Winning it. When she cashed in the Money in the Bank. Like, that was the moment. And it, like, when was the last time she defended the title? I can't remember.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Exactly. Like, I can't remember. Like, it just.
Let me do some.
But like, when Bayley wins this, is it going to be that big moment? Oh, she triumphed. She beat Io. She won the title, and it's going to feel like a big deal? Not really. I mean, not really, right? Like, it just
puts Io in the Jinder Mahal category. It's just a paper champion. Like, where I feel like she deserves more. She's a great competitor, and she always has great spots. And we just, like you said, we haven't seen her, and we haven't seen her in the ring.
Hell, when was the last time she wrestled?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. The cage match isn't the most user-friendly site.
I don't remember. That's the biggest problem with this story. Is Io should have been so much more as champion. She cashed in, and it felt like it was going to be awesome. Like, Io's going to be the champion. Damage Control is going to run through everything. And I don't know if Charlotte getting hurt derailed that. I don't know if Dakota getting hurt derailed that. I don't know what happened, but it just hasn't been what we all wanted it to be. And I think that sums up kind of the Damage Control storyline.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been what we wanted it to be.
So I did find it. The last defense, at least according to Cage Match, was back on January 14th at a house show. Shotzi won by DQ.
When was the last televised one? But that's the problem.
Yeah,
it was a house show in January.
That was also January. SmackDown defeated Mishin.
Okay,
your girl.
Don't remember that at all. Don't remember that at all. Yeah, I mean, I'll go Bayley, because I think that story's there. They're going to get Bayley her big win and shoot off all the fireworks and try to make it feel like a big deal, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm going to say Bayley as well. I mean, honestly, I think that this is kind of the perfect time to reset with this new version of Damage Control. They're not beating Jade, Naomi, Bianca, so you might as well have all 4 of them take an L and figure out, okay, how are we going to pick ourselves up, lick our wounds, and try to recoup from this. This isn't going to be the last time that Io is women's champion. I think that we can all agree on that this isn't going to be the last time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, seriously, I don't know.
The women's division is pretty stacked. We were talking about the main event side of things for the men. The women, it's even more stacked. Yeah. I mean, there's only 2 titles to fight after.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I still think this is not the last time. This was, as far as a Money in the Bank title run, this was fine. It definitely could have been better. I'm certainly not gonna sugarcoat it, but yeah, I would say let's just give Damage Control a reset here. Like I said, I don't think that they need Dakota in this group. I would be totally fine if it was EO and the Kabuki Warriors, quite frankly. And who knows, we might still get that. So I'm going
rename
to
the
be.
group. If they do that,
Yeah.
rename the group. Like let's get rid of Damage Control. Like it didn't work. Let's move on. Scrap it.
Here, gentlemen.
Is there
We
prediction?
are in.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I'm gonna say Bailey.
Okay.
Yeah. But we are into our 2 world title matches. We are going to start with Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Big gold on the line. They have been chirping for months. Drew is in his bag doing some of the best heel work that he could possibly do. Podcast Dad, you look like you got something on your mind. I'm going to kick it off with you.
No, I'm not answering until you call it the correct title.
Okay, King Chris, up to you.
Well, medium gold is on the line here, and we as you can tell from my shirt, you know who I'm going to pick here. This has been so fun to watch. He's so comfortable on the mic. He's so comfortable in matches. He's just, you feel like this is real. Like this isn't a character. This is him. And that's why I'm gravitating towards him. And that's why the universe is gravitating towards him. He doesn't need this, but I don't see Seth coming away with a title. He needs to take time off. He's injured. Part-time. Again, what I said about Bailey, getting kind of sick of him, or not Bailey, Seth, with Becky Lynch, getting kind of sick of Seth Rollins a little bit. Who's his character? Don't really get it. What's his theme?
He's a visionary, revolutionary, basically just waiting to get invited to the Met Gala.
Yeah, well, he needs to put those shiny shoes away, and
the big ones too.
Oh, you're no fun.
I'm sick of him. So give me Drew. Convincingly, give me Drew.
Now, will you answer the question?
I will. I just wanted to hear the King first. That's it. He speaks wisdom, and you don't. So Drew's gonna win. It's time. He is what 0-10 in his last 10 title matches. Like it's time. Like, and with the announcement that Clash at the Castle will be in Glasgow, Scotland, in June. Come on, like you gotta give him that title and let him walk into that show, especially after they totally shit the bed with not letting him win at the last Clash at the Castle. This is his time. He has earned it. He's the best character in the WWE minus The Rock right now, and everything about
that's fair.
He's the biggest heel because he uses logic, and that's hilarious. It's hilarious. He's building like 17 different feuds at the same time. He's gonna wrestle Punk. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited
for a hell of
for
a
this
year.
title run. He has earned this because the last time he got his big world title win, nobody was there. He earned this. He is going to win this, and people are going to be amazed just how good this guy's going to do with the title. And it's time. Seth had the run. He was able to make the title legit. I think, and it's time. Like we have so many champions that have had lengthy reigns. I want some fresh faces with these titles.
Yeah. So I want to point this comment out here from All Black. McIntyre wins. Chase Damien Priest. Win it back, Clash of the Castle. Seth will take time off after a horrible weekend. Thinks that Priest will cash in on Drew. Priest is still lurking, and I know that we have talked about it a couple of times as far as what the fate of the Money in the Bank briefcase holds. But, there is still that lingering feeling of the briefcase over the event. From a logic standpoint, it is still very much an option that that they can elect to exercise. I know that Podcast Dad has been very vocal about letting it expire, just to do something different. I do agree that Priest has cooled off a little bit since they put it. Trying to be diplomatic here, if you don't mind.
I will say the segment that he had, the match that he had, featured Damien Priest heavy and made sure it made him look like.
Yeah. Oh. No, we lost him. He'll be back. Yeah.
I don't know. Like Damian Priest has had so many opportunities to cash in. Like maybe they're doing that on purpose, where it's like we kind of forget that he has it. But I don't.
Yeah. I mean, miscommunication has been the name of the game for the Judgment Day for a while. I mean,
that's why I think it's going to expire, because I think they're just going to keep kicking that can down the road where he's going to just keep, and that's what eventually is going to break him out of the Judgment Day is you guys cost me my money in the bank. Like I didn't get to cash it in because you guys held me back.
But when we say expire, are we going to start to see or not necessarily vignettes, but we're going to start to see countdown graphics on TV of here's how much time that he's got left, or like would you make it that?
I don't know if you do like countdown graphics, but I think like in some of the backstage skits or whatever, you address it, and maybe his promos in there and you address it. Maybe we see a couple more attempted cash-ins that get foiled due to like Judgment Day meddling, like we've seen it like War Games, other events that we've seen where something pops up and he's not able to do it, like something like that. I don't know if I need a graphic. I don't know if I need a Cody.
That's fair. Yeah, All Black again wins it back for his home country. This one, I think that if you're going to make the decision to put on Drew at Mania, you don't take it off of him between now and was it June that it's happened? Yeah. We're starting to see lengthier title reigns now, and I think that given the visual of Drew losing in Wales a couple of years ago, it should be the complete 180 of okay, I lost them, but I'm walking in as a champion now. I think that's the bigger pop. You can get the bigger pomp and circumstance out of a Drew appearance in that respect, especially with the work that he's put in to revitalize this character that nobody really gave two shits about in 2023. I mean, was it, again, 10 straight title match losses that he had going through most of 2023? I don't think that this would be the time to, include a transitional champion in order to create that moment for him. Drew is the moment. He's doing a good enough job of that on his own, creating those moments, especially with what he's been doing with Punk on social media, especially with how he's chirping at Rollins. I think that it's better if we put the title on Drew, give him a dominant run that he's earned.
Would it be a better, and this is a question for both of you, would it be a better feel-good story of him walking into Scotland as the champion, or losing it to Priest here as a cash-in and winning it in Scotland?
See, I think, and to answer your question, I think him coming in as the conquering hero with the title would be better. But to answer the Damian Priest thing, like if they're going to cash in, like Eric was saying, they're not cashing in on Drew. I think they cash in on Seth. Like if the cash in happens at Mania, it's going to happen on Seth to continue that just descent into madness and maybe go away for a while. But to answer your question, Chris, I think he walks in as the conquering champion against maybe a CM Punk, against maybe a Gunther at that time. Like he walks in with the title and gets that just ginormous pop, and then kind of like Rhea did in Australia, right? Like walks in with the title, has a great title defense, and gets all the love from the crowd.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same position. I'd rather see him walk in as champion. This character is undeniable, and I think that it's time to kick this title reign off. I mean, he did everything that he needed to reinvigorate himself. I mean, I think, and we've talked about the contract and whether there was really a chance that he was going to leave. I don't think that we could rule that out. Nothing's official until somebody shows up on a TV program, at least in our eyes. But I think that if things had remained the way that they were for much of 2023 going into 2024, that, he probably would not have had any interest in staying, but, decided to bet on himself. We're getting a lot more of his personality into his character, and it's making money. Exhibit A. It's just working. And I think that now's the time to see what they really have here with Drew as a world champion and what feels like a very, very natural character for him.
So in the segment, again, sorry to belabor on
No,
this
it's all right.
because there's so many things with this match. Paul Heyman and him were spotted at Raw, talking in the background. How does that play in? Where do you guys see this happening? Is it part of the bloodline rules that we think is going to happen? Is this where Damien comes out and the bloodline kind of stops him from doing it as like a failed cash in to make sure that he gets his moment?
I could see him getting involved in the tag match somehow.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see. I mean, I know it'll be bloodline rules, or at least that's our prediction for it anyway. For the Universal title, but I think that any Drew involvement will be the night before. I think it's more that'll be more of I want to get into Seth's head. Bloodline be damned. You know, it's kind of. I think that he. I would imagine that any conversation with Heyman is about, helping the Bloodline win that tag team match, and maybe some sort of will repay the favor later, or something to kind of distract Seth during that world title match. But I don't necessarily see any involvement in it in the Universal title in a match. And that's Kyle thinks Drew and Rollins end up duking it out in the main event.
Or we see like a Solo show up during Rollins and McIntyre and like, hey, if you help us night one, we'll help you night two. And again, screw over Rollins just to continue that descent of madness.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Overall, I think consensus is that Drew walks out with the gold here.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Speaking of hoping, gentlemen, here we go. To give a little backstory on this, when we were very fresh-faced podcasters just one short year ago, a lot of discussion about this match and whether Cody would finish this story. Podcast Dad was convinced that Roman was going to walk out with this title until the entrance that Cody got, the ring jacket that's got the tribute to Kenny Omega on it, and just seeing the I'm gonna go hug Brandy, hug my daughter, like having those moments, and that and that's when Chris is like, okay, they're setting this up, and I think that okay, Cody's gonna finish the story here. And then when we see Roman get the 1, 2, 3, and I mean it was just the two of us in the room here, and it was just like, oh,
the hell just happened?
We didn't think that they would actually do it. Like, this was a fun prediction, but they actually decided to continue with Roman here, and we've been talking about it ever since. So, Podcast Dad, I'm gonna let you start here. Where's your head at with this match?
Cody's gotta win. I mean, he's gotta win, right? He has to.
This is your time to speak here.
I can't have chapter 3 of this story. I can't. The book's been too long. I can't do it. Like, he has to win this match. It's time. You've done the Rumble again. You got him to win. Whether we know if they made the pivot or not, or if this was the plan all along, I don't care. You had The Rock involvement. Now he's involved with Cody in another way. You have that match set up. You have a Punk match set up. You have other matches that you can do.
Yeah.
Like, they can't, right? They can't. They don't. Is that record really that important for Roman to go get? I don't know if I want Roman to be the champion until September. I can't. Cody has to win. Cody's got to win. And if he doesn't, I'm going to riot.
He should, but they can go the other way. No. We saw it last. We've seen it before.
Kyle, stop putting that in the universe.
Shut your mouth.
I acknowledge the tribal chief, and I honestly think this is 50-50. If I'm being serious here, this is another one of those hot takes, man. That you mentioned a name last night that you had to redo the board, and I think WWE wants to redo the board a little bit and kind of rewrite history here and say, well, we're righting our wrongs a little bit. This is a new WWE,
but like right now, you have to do that. Like right now,
it would be terrible. I wouldn't be happy about it, but
I mean, devil's advocate. Like, when are you going to be this close again?
Exactly. You're going to put the title on somebody for 3-4 years again?
Gunther.
Honestly, yeah.
No.
It's just,
Cody
I
has
mean, yeah, because when you look at everything that Cody Rhodes has done since he's come back, he has been the quintessential babyface company man. He's out here shaking hands, kissing babies, politicking. He's offering to be best men at people's weddings. He is paying for the wrestling club to go to both nights of WrestleMania. Like that's one of those guys that you can't help but get behind. It is going to be really, really tough to make us care about. Would you not right now?
I can't. Roman can't win. He can't win.
I don't know that anybody is going to buy in to finish the story for one more year, because it's let's just say, heaven forbid, for the sake of this hypothetical, Cody does lose, and we're gearing up for another WrestleMania. What do you do with Cody in that year? The Brock Lesnar program was pretty solid, but then they followed it up with Shinsuke Nakamura, tag team title run with Jey Uso, who they were trying to make a singles star, but put him back in a tag team with another singles star because WWE. The only the only justification that I personally can see for prolonging this for one more year is that there has never been a three-peat Royal Rumble winner. Austin's done it 3 times, never 3 in a row, and I don't count 1999. So that is kind of the only other accolade out there that I can see them having their eye on here. But Roman's reign, pun intended, has been great. It is time to it's time to say goodbye to yesterday.
I mean, the Bloodline storyline doesn't need the title anymore.
No, not anymore. And All Black says, last another year or two. And if you've watched our show, then you've heard me say Bloodline Civil War inside War Games this year. We don't need a title for that. And especially if we're hearing, especially if we're hearing that, people like Lance Anoa'i are headed to Philly right now. We don't know who else might be there. Tama Tonga might also show up. There's a lot of moving parts here that can keep this Bloodline story going. They just don't need the gold to do it.
I'm not saying I'm going to pick them. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, but you brought it up, and now everybody's
heated,
scared.
It's no different than what I put in the main event group chat. And this was something I took from Conrad, who tweeted out, like, if you have the pencil, heaven forbid something went catastrophically wrong in night 1. How do you fix night 2? What would you do to still make it a show that you send home everybody happy?
That's when you have Priest cash in.
Yeah.
So this was going to be my question. Do they bring up or reenact Dusty's championship win, where he wins and then on a technicality the title's taken away?
I'm still not over Chris Jericho's in 2000.
I'm not over Daniel Bryan's.
Yeah. So let's say he wins the title. Is this where Damian Priest comes out and cashes in and takes it away?
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
And it could be like father, like son. Like, this is the dream that they took it away from us, and now we have to go win it back again.
But I mean, Dusty did have a bunch of titles too. So
yeah, and it's like if we're bringing Mama Rhodes into this, and basically The Rock saying, "I'm going to commit felonious assault against your son, and I'm going to give you the evidence of the crime as a souvenir," that ass whooping on Monday a couple of weeks ago was not sanctioned.
That one was.
But yeah, I don't know. I am. It's my prediction. It's the same as last year. Cody finishes the story.
Please.
Yeah,
that's my prediction as well. I see it. He walks away, and then there's tension in the bloodline. It becomes Rock Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I and All Black also says Cody will face Rock at some point. Selfishly hoping that's in Cleveland.
Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes.
Stop it. You shut your dirty.
Versus The Miz.
And Johnny
Okay.
Gargano.
Okay.
And Johnny Gargano.
All right.
Fatal four-way.
All right. I got nothing.
Where Cody comes out and is the heel.
Do you guys think Austin and Cena are popping up somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, WWE doesn't do anything on accident anymore when it comes to production of things. The Easter basket that Austin put a video out of a bunch of beers being handed to him talking about the 03 pickup truck. I feel like that goes back to a story about what was it, 02, 03, or not 02, but like very late ECW days where Dusty was doing some work and, came in, had to keep the, okay, I guess he doesn't want to talk to us anymore, but whatever. I don't know. I think there's a lot of foreshadowing here. Austin, I think Cena shows up. I do think that this Avengers Assemble kind of thing, if it's Bloodline rules, Cody's not coming in alone. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's got to be taken in consideration here is that if this is going to be an anything goes fight that's going to be set up because of this tag team match, then he has to do it here. He has to do it here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. That's my prediction, Cody.
Yes, I think I think Cena, Austin will show up. This is the Avengers Endgame where everybody's going to show up. Everybody's going to show up except for HH. Don't let him.
It's going to be overbooked to perfection, and it's going to be great.
Meek Mill is hosting Dreams and Nightmares.
Oh, what a song!
And selfishly, I want that to play while I am sitting in Lincoln Financial Field, seeing the fireworks go off.
Okay. Yeah, because you get to be at the show.
Has the King treatment and will be there.
Sorry, we get pulled pork.
Yeah, and it's gonna be damn delicious.
Yeah.
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 Thanks, Masterbuilt.
Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, final thoughts on the WrestleMania card as we call it a week and get ready for the festivities. King? I
can't wait. I have been waiting for this since the Royal Rumble. And since they had the kickoff show where the slap heard around the world, I have been counting down, not the days, but the hours until this show. And I can't wait.
I think King Chris said it best at the beginning of the show. This is a dudless card.
Yeah.
And I would say both nights. And I cannot remember a WrestleMania where we've had that. This has the potential to be a top 5 Mania. Yeah. I'm so excited for it. Like this is one of the Manias I think we're going to look back and go, man, that was fantastic. And I cannot remember the last time I was so excited for a Mania.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, we watch every year and we get excited because it's the show of shows. But I mean, there have been plenty of times where we've just been so thoroughly disappointed in what we've seen. But it doesn't have that feel this year, and I cannot wait to enjoy this with everybody that's coming to hang out. Podcast Dad and I get to reunite once again for a great show.
2 nights.
Yeah, 2 nights. Look at you getting permission to hang out 2 nights in a row.
That's why I had to leave. I had to go open the garage door.
Fair.
I don't want the look, Eric. You know the look.
I do know the look. I've not been on the receiving end of the look. I have just I've witnessed.
You keep keeping me up past bedtime. You might get it.
There have been some times where I probably deserve the look, but whatever. It works. Gentlemen, thank you very much. As always, thank you to everybody that joined us tonight for our WrestleMania Night 2 predictions. Feel free to tag us over the weekend if you're doing some cool stuff, if you're making food, if you're having a party. Make sure to check out our bingo game that's on our social media there. If you want to add a little spice to your party, make it a drinking game for all we care. I know that we're going to. So, let's have some fun. Let's be safe. Let's be kind. Anything else that I'm missing here?
I'm ready to watch in the City of Champions. Not in Cincinnati, but in Philadelphia. Well, can't wait.
Yes, I would agree.
We were doing
King Chris, shut up.
Doing so well.
King Chris, stay safe. Have a great time. Drink a lot for both of us.
Make good choices.
make good choices. We want. I know Eric and I haven't talked about it, but we're gonna have you back on to talk about that live experience.
Duh.
Love it. I will be sending videos from. So so get ready for that.
Cannot wait. As always, thank you guys so much. Hit the QR code, top left corner, like, share, subscribe, run those numbers up, share this podcast with just one person. Thank you to everybody that has been a part of our WrestleMania week festivities. Who knows? We might pop in at some point during our party on Saturday. I haven't decided if I'm bringing all that equipment to the clubhouse yet, but who knows? We might have some fun with it. We'll see. But thank you guys so much. We will be back on Monday to break down 2 nights of WrestleMania, 1 night of Stand and Deliver. We might need to do an entire just week.
What do we have this weekend too?
I know this one.
Have you already?
2 main event mixers. Yeah, 2 main event mixers. Details are posted on our social media.
I'm helping you. I'm helping. There's one plug you forgot.
This time, you know what? Okay, it's all right. He keeps me sane. But yeah, 2 main event mixers. We're going to be coming to you with all of the coverage of Stand and Deliver, recapping WrestleMania Night 1. We're not going to give everything away as far as what we're thinking, but we're off to a damn good start, I would say. I would like him to say that to my face. I'd love for him to say that to my face. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Kyle, hit the weight room.
All right, so I got to put an ass whooping on layaway. Got it. Okay. So for King Chris, for the podcast out of Mr. Cincinnati, thank you guys so much for enjoying this episode of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll see you on Monday.